Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the inaugural episode of Rick Reviews Video Games, where I, Rick, review video games, of course. My first ever review is for a game called Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. This is, of course, my first review, and not at all my third review, because that would mean I made two videos that were not good enough to upload to YouTube, which is obviously not the case. Before I jump in, I'd like to refer you to my review primer that was uploaded with this video. In that video, I give you an overview of my approach to reviews, some background information about me, and provide you with some quick reviews to clue you into my tastes. I want you to place my reviews in context such that you can calibrate my preferences to your own. Hopefully that will help you make an informed decision on whether to give this game a go. With that said, let's get to it. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Where to begin? Where to begin? This is a game by From Software, which are famous for making the Soulsborne games. If you aren't familiar with those games, they are in the action RPG genre, but are geared towards difficult gameplay that's incredibly punishing, but it was also a bit of a revelation to what can be achieved in gameplay. In those games, you're able to use different gear sets, like two swords, a sword and shield, a flamethrower, and a rapier, or whatever, to approach combat in a variety of ways that was not previously seen, or at least previously executed with such polish. The gameplay was so refined and new that you were able to overlook the storytelling, which is to say, in a word, bonkers. Seriously, if you want to know what any of those Soulsborne games are actually about, you'll have to look it up because I've never made head nor tails of what the hell is going on there. Don't believe me? Just type Bloodborne story into YouTube and you'll see hundreds of videos of people trying to explain the insanity that is that game. Honestly, the Soulsborne formula is so good that it's really taken 5 previous games for me to be a bit sick of their crap when it comes to storytelling. I kind of feel like at this stage, they needed to get it together and tell a coherent story. And with Sekiro, they did tell a story that's more coherent, but it's still bananas. So I'm going to talk about the story, and I'm going to turn the spoiler warning on from this point forward because I don't think there is a full-throated way to talk about this game without discussing or showing late game elements. That being said, I'm not sure spoilers is the right word for it because I feel like I played the whole game and I don't really understand the plot. A good analogy would be you can't spoil a painting because it has to be taken in as a whole, and I think Sekiro is more like that than a standard narrative structure. Anyways, in Sekiro, you are a shinobi, i.e., ninja, who goes by the name Wolf. You are adopted by another ninja named Owl at a young age and are brought up to honor the Iron Code. Essentially, honor your parents, honor your master, and honor your fear. Your master in this case is the Divine Heir. Yes, that Divine Heir, Kuro, a young man whose blood has magical death-defying properties. As the game opens, you are a dejected shinobi. Having failed your mission, you are content to sit in a well and die when some lady drops a piece of paper into the well asking for your help to save Kuro. It turns out this group of people are trying to kidnap Kuro to gain control over his blood. Now, this is much crazier than it sounds because the people trying to kidnap him are some of the same people trying to protect him. And it turns out they all kind of live in the same area. They all kind of work together. I mean, they even attend the same funerals. I don't really know how everyone fits together or what their motivations are, but it's kind of a weird jumbled mess. You meet up with Kuro and work your way out of town. With escape nearly in sight, you're stopped by a heavily armed samurai-looking dude who pieces you up and takes your left arm, then leaves you for dead. Get used to this though, you're gonna get brutalized like this the whole game through. So there you are, left for dead, and somehow you get taken to a one-armed former shinobi who fits you with a prosthetic arm that has ninja skills. Progression takes the form of you finding and equipping shinobi tools to your prosthetic arm, including an axe, a poison blade, a shield, a spear, firecrackers, a money cannon, and, of course, ghost kunai. I mean, what prosthetic arm isn't complete without ghost kunai? You also find gourd seeds, which allow you to heal more times, prayer beads, which increase your health. You confront memories to increase your attack power, voodoo statues to rest and also reset the world. Yeah, this game is crazy. You are essentially thrust into this nutty world without much explanation of the setting, the characters, motivations. You're just kind of there as this agent of death. Along the journey, you fight the headless. Why are they headless? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Just fight them. You take on packs of monkeys and some giant apes. Also, a headless ape that you pull a centipede out of its neck, which severs his or hers immortality. Yeah, that happens. You also fight some other shinobi, including your adoptive father, who killed you earlier. Why? I don't know, for no apparent reason. Some dude who's the younger incarnation of an old dude who was totally chill with you until some other dude slit his own throat, and then the old dude, who's now younger, literally crawls out of the other dude's neck wound to try to kill you. Yeah, that's the kind of story we're dealing with here.
孫の最後の願いじゃ。わしはこのアシナをよみがえらせねばならぬ。
But really, story isn't why you play the From Software games. You play because of the punishing combat that feels oh so sweet when you beat that boss. And Sekiro delivers on bosses. I swear the title should not have been Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, not only because you die an S-ton more than twice, but because it should have been called Boss Fight, the video game. There are like 30 mini bosses and 14 main bosses peppered throughout this game. Prepare to get smacked upside the head, stabbed through the gut, sprayed with poison, shot through the heart, and oh yeah, hit with frickin' lightning bolts. Difficulty aside, but this game is grueling. Sekiro is an evolution of the Soulsborne combat system. In place of stamina, there's a new posture system. Essentially, you can break your enemy's posture to land a death blow. Vice versa, your posture can be broken and they can jack you up. Posture is broken down through both physical damage and as a function of blocking for too long. The combat also integrates verticality. No more are you confined to the shackles of the earth. You can now leap. Yay. Which means instead of choosing to block or parry, now you have to choose to block, parry, or jump. I know what you're thinking. Come on, Rick. It's only one more option. But in the heat of battle, one extra wrong choice means death. Instead of having to block, then dodge, or vice versa, now you have to see if you should jump, then block, or if you should dodge, then jump. It really just opens up the possibilities of you making the wrong decision. On top of that, these games have always had a mechanic for a perfect block, meaning you get a critical chance after a parry. But now there's a perfect dodge mechanic, but not just any perfect dodge. You have to perfectly dodge into the attack. It's a risk-reward calculation that results in kill or be killed scenarios. Look, I've played all the Soulsborne games, starting with Demon Souls all the way through Sekiro. I kind of revel in the challenge, but when I picked up Sekiro, I knew I was past my prime. I was an aging video game champion, looking for that last big payday. Everyone told me, don't play Sekiro, it's a killer, Rick.
I said, why are you doing this? Because you can't win, Rock!
But I knew I was good enough. And when I first played, I came in overconfident. I was out of shape. My heart wasn't in it. And Sekiro took me out. So that first time, I flat out quit. It made me miserable. It was too punishing. It was too intense. Too unfair. I had trained in the Soulsborne games. Hell, I wasn't the quickest or had the best counter timing, but I put in the effort. I embraced the grind. I would work harder than anyone else. I would grind levels and come into boss fights OP. And in Sekiro, they take that away from you. You can't just grind for levels to increase your health, stamina, and attack power. You have to face challenges head on. So I took a year off. It was a huge blow to my pride. I realized I'm past my prime.
Ready?
No longer was my reaction time adequate.
Set. Go!
My fingers no longer nimble.
Come on! You can't win, Ron!
Mickey died. I just didn't have the fight in me anymore.
It's over. It's all over.
But as we've gone through COVID, like many people, I had time to think. I was bothered, and the memories lingered. Paulo reached out with an offer to help me get that Eye of the Tiger back. And on top of that, there just aren't a ton of interesting video games coming out. So I went back to the well, where I started. A dejected shinobi. I decided to start all the way over.
Watch it! There we go, come on!
I decided to train, to take it seriously. I realized I still had gas in the tank, but I needed a new trainer, and for that I turned to Fightin' Cowboy. All Rocky 3 references aside, Fightin' Cowboy has the best YouTube walkthroughs, and he's why I'm here to review this game. Couldn't have done it without him. Go check out his videos. He's definitely Apollo Creed in this weird analogy I'm making. Anyways, I got good. It was punishing and it was difficult, but I proved I still have what it takes to beat Clubber Lang. I mean Sekiro. So that brings me to my review score. But first, some final words. I hated this game. It made me mad. It made me want to throw things, to break controllers. It was the bane of my existence for the last 2 weeks. Seriously, f*** this game. I give it an 8 out of 10. As awful as this game was to me, it is good. It's also not a game for the weak-willed or unskilled. You have to be willing to fight a boss knowing it may take you 6 hours before you beat him. It's grueling. Oh, and there are 4 endings, and each new game plus increases the difficulty. So if you're a sadist, have at it. All that said, actions speak louder than words. So when I finished the game, what did I do? Did I throw the game away? Did I delete it and the save file from my hard drive? Nope. I did this. That's right. I started a new game plus, just to see how I'd fare. I'm a sick person. Now I want to give you the value-added proposition. If you like crying in the corner, or if you like being frustrated to the point of hysteria, or if you're a mentally healthy person who just likes challenges, then this game is for you. There's a pretty decent length campaign, and the replayability is high, which is good, because you're going to replay it a whole bunch on the first playthrough, as you're going to be killed. A lot. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment, maybe subscribe to the channel, and help out some dude who just loves video games and wants to keep reviewing them. I hope to add a new review every 2 weeks, as that seems to be what I'm capable of and still keep my day job. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Steve.